Shabbat Shalom to all those that are in the time zones of the Shabbat. For some of y'all, it's 9 o'clock in the morning on Sabbath morning. It's 9 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. And of course, time between those two for Far East. And this place varies. But Shabbat Shalom to all in the name of the Father and of his Son, Messiah, Yahweh, Father Yah. Greetings, grace, mercy, and peace to all. Tonight we're going to be continuing our study in Isaiah, and we'll be doing beginning Isaiah chapter 44, very powerful chapter, and it's actually connected to chapter 42, 43, and now 44. That's all like one thing. All right, Bathaman, I will do that. Bathaman's asking for prayer that she will be able to use, what she said, that she will be able to learn how to use her computer. All right, let's let me write that down. Let me write that down. This is all right. I'm sure the Most High can teach you how to use your computer, Bathaman. All right. Any other prayer requests before we get started? Any other prayer requests? All right. Yeah, don't worry about that. All right, so let's have a word of prayer and get started. Most High Yahweh, we give you praise and honor and glory for all you have done for us, and ask, as these Sabbath hours are upon us, that your spirit of righteousness and truth would also be with us, that as we go into your word, your name would be uplifted, honored, and glorified, and your people would be encouraged and strengthened to seek your face for your spirit of righteousness, that your name will be glorified in our obedience to your covenant. Pray for Sister Bathaman. You see her request. We surely know you're able to teach anyone anything. So we're praising you and thanking you for helping her to learn to use her computer. In the name of the Messiah, Yahweh, we pray. Amen. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. All right, so let's begin. Before we, of course, hit Isaiah 44, let's begin with some scriptures that have to do with Isaiah 44, that are related to Isaiah 44. As we're studying Isaiah, we're at a point in the history where, all prophecies come to a conclusion. In other words, prophecy, Paul said, Shaul said, prophecies cease. In other words, they come to a point where they're fulfilled. Okay? And the fulfillment of all prophecies for us, for everyone, is when we're in the kingdom. All prophecies end up with us in the kingdom, and sin eradicated, and all rebellious ones gone. That's the end of all prophecies. Okay, that's Revelation, of course, chapter 21. Revelation chapter 21. I'm going to read the beginning of chapter 21 and the beginning of chapter 22. This is where all prophecies lead to. This is the end result of all prophecy. Okay, so Revelation chapter 21. I'm going to read from verse 1 to 5. Revelation, actually 1 to 6. No, sorry, 1 to 7. I'm going to read from Revelation 21, 1 to 7. Okay? And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, Yochanan, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yah out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yah is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yah himself shall be with them and be their most high. And Yah shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. And I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his most high. He shall be my son. That's the end of it. Okay, let's read some more. Revelation chapter 22. I'm going to read from verse 1 to 4. Again, this is the end of it. This is what all prophecy points to. All right. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Yah and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Yah and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. Let's compare this to what our fathers, the situation they were in when they were delivered from Egypt in regards to these things. First, Exodus. Let's go back to Exodus. Yes, Exodus. I'm only going to need one verse from Exodus 25. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 1. I can't, I got to read in some context. From verse 1 down to verse 9. Exodus chapter 25 from 1 to 9. Okay, watch this. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel that they bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart. Ye shall take my offering. This is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold and silver and brass and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and ram skins dyed red and badger skins and chittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it. See? So the Most High wanted to dwell among his people, but he had them make a sanctuary after a pattern. The pattern was patterned after an original. That's what patterns are. Patterns are after an original. So the original is the one that's in the third heaven, the one that comes with the New Jerusalem. That's the original. The one that Messiah was shown in Revelation chapter 1. That's the original. Okay, this was a pattern. Also, let's compare that and look at Exodus chapter 34. Let's see. Okay, Exodus chapter 33. Exodus chapter 33. I'm going to read from verse 13 down to verse 20. Exodus chapter 33 from verse 13 down to verse 20. Notice what it says. Now, therefore, I pray thee, Moses is speaking here, and he's speaking to Yah. Now, therefore, I pray thee, if I have found grace in thy sight, show me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in thy sight, and consider that this nation is thy people. And he said, this is Yah responding, and Yah said, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. That's, brothers and sisters, I gotta come back to that, because that's extremely Important. That's extremely important, especially for us right now. All right. Okay. He said, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And he said unto him, if thy Moses answered, and he said, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up thence. Now, with me is italicized, it's supplied. Let's read it without the italicized words. And he said unto him, if thy presence go not, carry us not up thence. In other words, he's talking about the nation. If you're not with us, don't bring us there. Okay. For wherein shall it be known here that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? Is it not in that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the presence of Yah with his people separate them from everybody else on the planet. Let's keep going. And Yahweh said unto Moses, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. That's Moses asking the Most High, show me your glory, because he hadn't seen it before. Okay. Always a dark cloud, thick cloud between Moses and the Most High. Curtain. Okay. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Yahweh before thee, and I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. And he said, thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. Now, compare that to what we just read in Revelation, where it says, they shall see his face, because his name shall be in their forehead. See, that's the end of all prophecy. We get to look in the face of Yah and not die because of his righteousness. When it says his name shall be in our foreheads, it's not no tattoo, it's not no print. It is the formation of perfect righteousness in character in us. The forehead is where your character is. So it's the formation of righteous character that's permanently placed in us. Where does that start? It starts right now. See, I was thinking about this the other day. I said something the other day, and I'm going to come back to y'all and apologize for what I said. I said that we should protect ourselves against our oppressor. Now, that makes perfect sense. And I did use a biblical reference in terms of Esther and the people arming themselves when they were coming for the attack. But I want to tell you something. I want to apologize because, brothers and sisters, did you see what I just read here? And y'all rebuked me after that. See, I'm not afraid to say when I'm wrong or when I make a mistake. Y'all rebuke me. You know why? Because what he said right here. Look what he said right here. He said, my presence shall go with thee, and I will give thee rest. And then Moses said, so shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all people upon the face of the earth. Brothers and sisters, the protection we need is Yah's perfect righteousness. It will protect us. Angels will attend that spirit, and they will protect us. We will be protected by our God. That's what he's telling me. Although we have a right to defend ourselves in these last days, brothers and sisters, he wants us to trust in him, the only true God. Yah is the only true God. And let me tell you something we're going to talk about. He only has one true people. He has not changed. Okay? We're going to talk about that. But I started this off by expressing or conveying the fact that all prophecy ends up in the kingdom with the servants of Yah being able to look them in the face. All prophecy ends up with us in the kingdom and the new Jerusalem on the earth, and no more death, no more sorrow, no more pain, no more cops killing our men, no more corruption, no more orange presidents that's only about themselves, no more. corruption. Not in flesh, not in spirit, not in the atmosphere. And all the servants healthy. All the servants healthy, vibrant, balanced, and in harmony with Creator and with the earth. In perfect balance. That's where all prophecy ends up. Now, before we get there, we got the Most High showing us the road ahead. That's what prophecy is about. Remember what he said, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. So all prophecy is about the servants of Yah being shown what's coming and him preparing them for not only what's coming, but to dwell in a kingdom where there's no more sin. And he prepares that by causing us to overcome all our sin right now. That's how he prepares us. He prepares us by causing us to overcome all our sin right now. See, brothers and sisters, this flesh, this is getting old. See these gray hairs? This flesh is getting old. It's dying. But perfect righteousness never dies. And he will replace this flesh, this terrestrial flesh, with celestial flesh that will never die, never decay, never get old. Be youthful and strong forever. That's what he's going to do. But he's got to first put his name right here in our foreheads. He's got to place his name in our foreheads. And how does he do that? With our permission. Listen now. He does it with our permission. Again, what does it take for us to give him our permission? Everything. Everything. All you have, all you are, your whole body and soul, everything. That's what it takes. You see, there's a difference between me saying to y'all gotta follow me, and me telling y'all and imploring y'all, follow the invisible God. The God of the Hebrews, the God of the Israelites, follow him. Because there's lots of people in history, and they even exist now, wanting you to follow them. Why do you think people buy sneakers based on some player's name? They following that player. Right? Right? Why do you think there's such a thing as name brand in anything? They following something else. That's their business. At this point in history, the true people follow the Father in spirit and in truth. The true people of Yah only care about giving him glory. Okay? Because the true people of Yah are going to embrace what I just said. They want his name in their foreheads. They want his name in their foreheads. And brothers and sisters, let me tell you, eventually, when I say everything, if your family's not with you, it's going to cost you your family. I'm not saying you got to leave your family. You're not going to have to. They're going to want to leave you. It's going to cost you that. It's going to cost you some of your best and dearest friends. Not because you have to separate from them. They're going to separate from you. It's going to cost you everything. And you got to be willing to decide the cost, is the cost worth it. Remember what Messiah said? Count the cost. Brothers and sisters, see, when I told you the other day, we need to defend ourselves, the Most High rebuked me because the defense is in him. It's not in guns. It's in him. Okay? And here, our Satan is reacting to the awakening by killing us. And the Most High allows that because he wants us to wake up. Brothers and sisters, I've said it before. I say it again. We've marched before. It didn't get us nowhere. We've heard from these pastors and these reverends and these churches, so-called leaders. It never got us nowhere. We formed our own political parties. They stomped them out. We've demanded justice, and we've never got it because we're demanding it of our oppressors. Now, our demands, as I said before, our demands are their last chance. What our demands represent is what Moses talked to Pharaoh about when he said, let my people go. And we know what Pharaoh did. He did not let the people go. The people were delivered. They were delivered by YAH destroying Pharaoh's country. Brothers and sisters, as it was in the past, so it's going to be now. When you hear people crying and coming to the government demanding justice, no peace, we're not going to get justice from the government. But what that represents is a witness against our oppressors. Let my people go. That's what that is. Let my people go. And what the answer to the government has been and will be and will continue to be, who is YAH that I should let the people go? I will not yet let the people go. Get back to your labors. That's the answer to Pharaoh. That's the answer today. Until the people realize the God of their fathers has come down to deliver them. And it's more, the game is more intense now because that was just Egypt. This is a worldwide situation. We're in a worldwide economy. Remember, the Bible says about the lamb-like beast that speaks like a dragon. It causes the earth, that is, the whole earth, and them which dwell therein, to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And about the little horn, it said, he shall subdue the whole earth. And about Asatan, it said, after he's locked down here on the earth, which he is, he deceiveth the whole world. This is bigger than Egypt, way bigger. That's why Most High is unleashing the 144,000. When I say that, I mean it. He's unleashing them. That means he's going to endow them with power, and he's going to unleash his word from them. And the world's going to feel it. And they're going to tremble. And you know what happens to unbelievers when they get scared? We're already seeing it. What they do when they get scared? They start grabbing guns. They start trying to kill. They start marching and screaming and going on and carrying on and running over people with cars and killing people when there's 10 of them and one of us. That's what they do when they're scared. But when YAH says his presence shall go with us, brothers and sisters, when we learn that, there's nothing they could do. In other words, can you fight with air? Can you overcome an angel? No. And yet he will have armies of angels protecting us. His presence go with us because the end result is his name being planted in our foreheads. The end result is us being able to look him in the face. He told Moses, no man could look me in the face and live. He didn't even show his face to Moses. Not then. And Moses came down from looking between him and the thick cloud with his face glowing. Can you imagine? You see, brothers and sisters, I trust this Bible. I'm going to speak from it as long as y'all gives me breath and inspiration because this is the book right here. And I believe with all my heart, this book is going to guide us through. Going to guide us all the way through to the day we're looking him in the face. See, the wicked cannot look the Most High in the face. His face is destructive to them. It's a consuming fire to them. But to us, it's glory. We praise YAH. It's glory. Let's look at some more. Malachi chapter 4. Malachi chapter 4. Last book of the so-called Old Testament, Malachi. Last chapter of the last book of the Old Testament, Malachi. This last chapter, I'm going to actually start in chapter 3. I'm going to actually start in chapter 3. I'm going to begin at I'm going to begin at verse 13. Now, Malachi is actually a rebuke to our fathers. The Most High is using the prophet Malachi to rebuke our fathers, and they're denying what the prophet is saying. Okay, they come back and they have something to say all the time, and when he says something to them, they got something to say. So at the end, he's going to show them what is going to end up. Let's take a look. I'm beginning at verse 13 of chapter 3 and go down to verse 18 of chapter 3. The Most High says through his prophet, your words, talking to our fathers, have been stout against me, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? See, that was us. Now, as we know, it's the heathen. Their words are stout against Yah. That's why the Bible says in Revelation 13 that the beast speaks words against the Most High. He speaks marvelous words against the Most High. He has a mouth speaking great things. That's what the Bible says, talking a lot of mess. And we say your words have been stout against the Most High. And they say, where? We love God. Everybody loves God. We all worship the same God. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. A question was posed to me a couple of days ago, and I thought about it. And somebody actually asked me a question and said like this: how do we know that what we believe is the truth? Like if you're going to talk to somebody that's like a Islamic person and they believe in the Quran, and you're going to talk to somebody that's a Judaism and they have the Hebrew, what they call the Hebrew scriptures, how do you know you're true and they're false? How do you know which one is true? Or how about how the Christians interpret the Bible? How do we know that's false and what we're saying is true? And I thought about it. And you know what makes the difference? First of all, we've already mentioned the spirit of righteousness will be with us. His presence, he said, will be with us. That will be made known to people that are bearing witness of who we are, what we're saying. That's one thing. But you know the thing that really came to me about that? Prophecy. Because the truth, because prophecy is stuff that's coming as well as stuff that's already happened. So when we are teaching and preaching and believing the truth about prophecy and it comes to pass, that shows we're right? Like, I don't even know if Islam got any prophecy. Judaism certainly don't have any prophecy because they're still waiting for the first coming of the Messiah. So we know that Messiah's already came. But let's say you don't know that. You don't know if he came out. You're just an objective observer. Prophecy makes a difference. When we tell people what's getting ready to come and it happens, that's how they know. And that's why it's extremely important that we understand prophecy. Guessing ain't going to get it done. And novices trying to handle the word ain't going to get it done. Stubbornness ain't going to get it done. It takes Yah's spirit coming on his servants to show the people what's coming. That's prophetic. Okay, that's prophetic. That's the difference between us and everybody else. Because if his presence being with us, he will show us what's coming. And the Messiah said, all things I have seen of my Father, I'll make known unto you because you're my friends. That's what he said. So as he making known to us things that are coming, and we proclaim those things and they come, That's how we know we're the truth. Along with the character of perfect righteousness that he causes the people to bear witness from us. We don't have to try with that. We just have to receive that and let the fruit of the Spirit come on us. That will also bear witness. But it's prophetic utterance that causes the difference between the truth and the rest of the people. Because he's only revealing prophetic utterance to his chosen people. That's the difference. Okay. And it comes back again to his Spirit. Okay. Let's continue. Your words have been stout against me, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve Yah. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance and that we have walked mournfully before Yahweh of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt Yah are even delivered. Are we now